The AMAs just happened, hosted by Kelly Rowland, and she was there to accept the Favorite Male R&B Artist Award on behalf of Chris Brown because he couldn't make it. So he received this award, she accepted it for him, and then responded to the crowd's jeering, saying, "Excuse me, chill out. I want to tell Chris, thank you so much for making great R&B music. And I want to tell him, thank you for being an incredible performer. I'll take this award and bring it to you. I love you. Congratulations, and congratulations to all the nominees in this category."
Where was he? He just didn't show up because he has a bad reputation, or?
Well, you told me that he might not have showed up to the award ceremony because he had plans to do like a Michael Jackson tribute performance that they shot down.
Oh, okay, so he's offended.
But I don't know if that's the case.
Like, is this when Aziz Ansari didn't show up to collect an award because like all the stuff had come out, or is this more like he just didn't feel like coming because award shows are lame? At which point, like, I agree with Chris Brown, or.
Chris Brown is kind of the living proof that if you just
don't address
it, keep doing your thing, you will be fine. Mm-hmm. Because he has perhaps one of the most or
if you're good enough at what you do, people will at least choose to ignore how bad of a person you are in your private life.
If you are extremely talented and you're smart enough to not keep bringing up something, if he keeps talking about it, it becomes all he is. But there have been times where in the past where he's released music, now I'm not a Chris Brown music fan, but where I forgot that what happened with Rihanna happened. Right? Where it's like, oh, was he the one?
For me, I didn't really know who he was before that happened. Yeah. Like, because she was kind of the pop star. I know he was probably popular, but I wasn't listening to the radio or whatever at that time in my life. Mm-hmm. So my major introduction to Chris Brown was like the assault in the car or whatever.
Yeah. So people were angered by Kelly Rowland's comments because it doesn't seem like she is standing in solidarity with other women in the music industry, specifically
but
Rihanna,
neither is this
by endorsing him.
Also, neither is this award show by giving him the award, yes? Like,
right.
Not that I agree with that, but like...
That's their problem as well.
Nor does it matter because Rihanna had forgiven him. So
publicly, yeah.
So shouldn't
she says no hard feelings.
Shouldn't her forgiveness play a role in how people interpret it? Like, maybe I'm wrong there. Like, shouldn't her being willing to forgive this at least...
I think it's irrelevant to whether or not you can enjoy Chris Brown's music and then give him accolades for his music rather than his personal character. So I just want to read out Rowland's statement to TMZ when she was responding to the backlash. She said, "I believe that grace is very real and we all need a dose of it. And before we point fingers at anybody, we should realize how grateful we are for every moment that we get, even our own things that we have. I just think it's important to remember to be human. We are humans. We all need to be forgiven for anything that we could be doing, anything that we're thinking. We all come up short in some kind of way, and grace is real. We are humans and everybody deserves grace."
I have to ask these questions.
So that's an interesting statement considering cancel culture.
I want to ask these questions because this is these are these topics where you have to be very clear about where your boundaries are as to what's acceptable and what isn't. Is this a situation, like, we talk a lot about how we're in a culture that's very, very anti-forgiveness, that once you're a bad person now in our society, you're bad forever, according to the internet. Where do we draw the line as a society, as people with your own moral compass? What is allowed to be given grace and forgiven and what isn't? And does it depend on what a person offers society? I'm not asking you if that matters to you. I'm saying, do you think that it matters more what a person can offer society, whether they're given that forgiveness or not? Because I do believe that we're in an extremely anti-forgiveness culture. I don't believe that most people want to forgive other people.
Well, groups can't forgive individuals. Groups can't apologize for the sins of individuals either. And to even operate in that framework isn't going to get us anywhere as far as like human understanding. So it's not my place or any group of people's place or women's place to just all of a sudden collectively forgive Chris Brown as a hive mind.
For you as a person.
But it's not my place to forgive Chris Brown because he didn't wrong me.
Yeah.
And he also didn't wrong me as insofar as like I am a woman, right? he wronged this individual woman, and it's her place to forgive him or not. And that also has nothing to do with my ability to enjoy his music without thinking of that incident in my head.
I'm able to do that with people that have strong beliefs that say insulting things about the things that I believe. I can watch somebody's art and not think about the decisions they've made or the things they've done. I know not everyone can do that. And I encourage people to vote with your wallet if it matters to you. When somebody says something that you feel is extremely incongruous to what you believe, I'm okay with you choosing with your wallet to not support that. Yeah. I'm just saying that me personally, I can discount it in the name of something that a piece of art that brings me joy.
So for me, like, domestic violence is really serious. It's unacceptable. Like, of course. It's not okay. I think that men who resort to that are like pathetic,
or women that support.
Sure, no, especially women. It's extremely high among lesbian couples.
I've heard that.
But the other part of it is like there are a lot of people in the music industry who are who have bad records for things. So like for Chris Brown, it's not just the like one incident with Rihanna. Like he has a history of like attacking his manager or like doing whatever. Like he's prone to anger. Yeah, he's prone to like anger and outbursts. And so, like, I am wary of all of these things. Again, Mary's right. He doesn't need my forgiveness for the wrongs that he caused other people. But, like, generally, yeah, I do think about, like, is this the kind of person that I would want to endorse 110%? Probably not. But I also don't, like, if a Chris Brown song comes on the radio, I'm not going to freak out. If it's on in a store, I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to buy his albums, but I probably never would have, right?
Yeah. Anyways.
I also don't think that, like, we need to, there has to be a neutral ground. Like, he doesn't have to be crucified forever because he's done wrong things. On the other hand, like,
thank you.
If you have a history of them and you continue to be violent, especially towards people that you have intimate relationships with, not just like romantic, but like your friends, your manager, stuff like that, people well, like that to me shows a level of instability and a lack of character that I wouldn't want to go out of my way to support.
Do you is Chris Brown music you listen to?
I do listen to a lot of his songs actually.
So when you do, does the
New
thought
and
of
old.
You put on a Chris Brown song, does a picture of Rihanna in your mind come up? No.
When I listen to a Justin Bieber song, do I immediately think of him peeing in a mop bucket? No.
Yes, I do.
I don't. But like personally,
really.
that's up to my discretion. And like so many people on Twitter have in their bio, retweets don't equal endorsements, and it's like, no shit, we know that.
Well, that's just because they're in.
That's in an age where people just can't compute that nuance.
Yeah.
That retweeting someone, streaming their music, even liking their Instagram post, or giving them an accolade for their album, is not the same thing as endorsing them as like their personal character. And saying that you support everything they've ever done or said. Even
not on the celebrity side. I remember the first time that a friend, not even a friend, a guy that I was involved with in the skating industry, who he's a videographer, who just went super bonkers political in like the late 2016, 2017. I liked another guy posted a skating clip of him. I liked the post on Facebook back when I used Facebook, right? And he sends me a message, and it's like, the other guy's like, did you know that this guy like posts like pro Donald Trump stuff on his page? And I'm like, no, because I don't look at his page.
And also, who cares?
It showed up on my page. Also, why would I care? I don't care one way or the other. But it's like they take your endorsement of that one thing, of that one clip of him skating, as meaning that I support him, therefore I support all the beliefs he has in this world.
Yeah, and
that's insane.
Especially that scenario is so vague. Like, is it that you liked, I've lost track of the story, but like, is it that you liked the person skating or the person who posted the thing, or do you like the video, or you like the skate park that they were at, or you like the trick that he did? You have no idea with that vague like what you're actually connecting with. And also like, so what if he posted political things you don't agree with? Like, to me, that is even like, comparing that to like Chris Brown, like at least Chris Brown has been convicted of violence. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like someone because they have an opinion that's different than yours, like that's on you.
That's
but like this is like the scenario where Chris Brown is like consistently shows a pattern of anger and violence. And at what point do we say like, we don't know that like he is the person that we should be awarding things to.
And that was,
again, I don't really feel strongly about it either way. I wouldn't go out of my way to support him.
It reminds me of when we talked about Mike Tyson and the fact that he was convicted of a rape charge. And there are still plenty of people who are diehard fans. One of them was in our chat, losing his mind because we were just acknowledging that he had been convicted of a crime.
Okay, here's another one. Another person would post, like, there was a guy who he would make skating edits to Michael Jackson music, and there was like a dude who would post comments like, you know that this dude's like a pedophile, right? And it's like, dude, I love Thriller.
That's crazy.
I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I like the song.
Like, it doesn't unpedophile Michael Jackson to not stream his music.
And this is super morbid, but like, he's dead, so his kids are making money off his estate now. Like, at this point, if you listen to Michael Jackson music, you're not supporting Michael Jackson.
But generational curses.
But I guess this is the age we live in now, where your life is mirrored digitally, and you are always running for president, and you're always on trial, no matter what you do. It's why I don't argue with people in comment sections, because everything becomes like a weird. If you respond, you give a lot of power to the person that's saying bonkers stuff about you, so it's best usually to not respond, especially if it's about you. Like, I don't need to give leeway to that, but I also don't feel like you should have to explain yourself. I don't think anyone owes anyone an explanation as to why they like someone's music. Like the same thing somebody said about, like, if Woody Allen's new movie bombs, I'm not going to cry for Woody Allen, given, what people say about Woody Allen, but I'm also not going to be mad if somebody likes his movies.
Well, and to like return to the thesis, like, who cares if Kelly Rowland or Michelle Obama or whoever is accepting this award on Chris Brown's behalf? Like, don't get mad at her, get mad at the AMAs for putting him in the category, right? Because some of you have to nominate him or select him as the winner or votes. I don't really know how it works. I don't believe in these award shows, but I feel like, again, we have to decide, are we at the point where like people can be rehabilitated and released back into the world to compete in this kind of for an industry accolade, or is Chris Brown dead to us forever? At which point, like, you really got to purge him, which, like, I don't really believe in that kind of cancel culture. So
then maybe the idea here is just that, like, I think the majority of people do believe in forgiveness, and I think that it just so happens that the loudest people are the ones that don't. So it's amplified.
The ones who don't believe they deserve it want to take it away from other people, I think.
So, I also think that, like, forgiveness, you can forgive someone and also still, like, not trust them, right?
And be wary of their actions.
Be wary of them. If he was like, I'm starting a domestic violence charity, I'd be like, questionable at best.
Sussy.
Well, yeah, like, or if he says as a way of atoning for my actions, maybe it's like, yeah, but is it a front? Is it some type of money laundering scheme? Because that would be extremely creepy if you.
He's like supporting the legal defense funds of domestic abusers.
Well, I mean, I feel like most people would see that as him trying to atone for that. That's actually the type of things that the people who believe in the cancel culture would want. They would want you like, we don't support your music anymore, and if you want us to support your music, here's your list of 37 demands you have to meet.
See, I'm so cynical. I feel like if he were to do that, I'd be like, wow, you're really trying to like get some PR points. I get you. What did
and
you
him
do
just
now?
not responding seems so much less phony than responding to a list of demands.
Well, also, like, there's nothing, like we were just saying, Dwayne Johnson, like, courts public approval. He's like saying good job to his coworkers on social media. Like, maybe Chris Brown, who again I do not think is perfect and probably still has a lot of issues, like maybe not responding publicly was the right course of action, because like he doesn't need to insert himself further into the situation. Like, I remember when Rihanna announced she was pregnant, and he, I guess, made some kind of like, I don't know if he tagged her. He said like congratulations, but also didn't tag her. But everyone was like, shut up. You don't get to be happy for Rihanna. You don't get to say anything. Like, everyone calm down. It's fine.
The scale is just so egregiously imbalanced with who is asked for explanation, whose explanations are demanded, and who gets to stay silent.
Balenciaga's not being asked for an explanation.
You, Brett, have to explain why you used this person's music in a skating video versus Balenciaga is allowed to just, sit on their high horse or in their throne room quietly while the internet implodes with the controversy that they created.
Yeah.
They won't say a word.
But it doesn't behoove them to. What explanation?
Pisses me off.
But what explanation could they possibly offer that would make sense?
That's a fair, like, nobody's going to actually buy it anyways. Like, they're evil.
Of course.
I guess we just accept that they're evil.
Is that the point? I have to wonder, like, why did they choose to do that?
Because they're evil.
Is that it?
Is
that what they think art is?
Is it pushing the normalization boundaries further and further and further and further, little by little, which they've proven themselves very adept at doing? It's your morality. And like yesterday, and it does too. Like to actually have to focus on that stuff every day, like those stories in particular. Like last night, I was just over it. Like when when I was making the thumbnail, it actually kind of made me sick to my stomach because I don't want to have to make this thumbnail showing this photo, but we are also talking about this and drawing attention to the fact that look, these people are freaking evil.
Yeah.
And just having to do that, like it proves to you just how far in the opposite end how bad you have to be to not just be okay with it, but promote it as if it's a good thing.
Well, so I covered the Balenciaga thing for the site yesterday, and I know it's not part of this show necessarily. It's not one of the topics for today, but like it is weird to have to read about like these horrific implications or whatever else. But I'm sure you guys talked about it. But one of the pictures had this photograph of the Supreme Court case, Williams v. Supreme Court, and so I like went through and found the text so I could have it in my article. And it is really interesting and horrific to have to read the circumstances around that case. But on the other hand, like I think it is one of those things that's uncomfortable to talk about. So on the one hand, like I don't believe in Balenciaga. I don't support anything that's going on there. For my own peace of mind, the silver lining is like now I'm more aware of laws governing child pornography. Can I say that on YouTube? Sorry. And that's like the best thing that I can take away, because otherwise you just feel disgusting afterwards.
Yeah, like there had to be some type of
like even screenshotting the photos to include in my article. I was like, I feel weirdly complicit in something I don't want to be a part of.
That was like when I was I couldn't put it into words yesterday
because these children, like, they have names,
and in the kids, like it was how unhappy they looked. Like it felt like they're mocking you by taking that photo and posting it. Right?
Yeah,
like
there's no way that they could have consented to being seen in that light.
Yeah, it's not even the appearance of like a positive image. It's literally as if they're laughing in your face, and it's disturbing. So, but it does bring to mind the previous topic about where forgiveness is, where we are with forgiveness as a society, and I think that you make a good point. Like he doesn't need to court forgiveness from you. He did not do wrong by you, but we're in a society now where you have to respond to all what you owe to a few.
The idea that you can harm a group and that you owe it a group apology, or that a group owes an apology to you, or like groups can have just an individual hive mind conscience, is a huge misconception these days.
It's the same idea of like he caused incalculable damage to this group of people. How? Yeah. How did someone cause incalculable damage to a generically defined group of people that are put together based on their either immutable characteristics or their gender ideology, any number of things?
And there are so many examples. Like this is the last one I'm going to go on a tangent about, but like with the Amber Heard trial, everyone was talking about what this means for women. And like, you know, it doesn't mean anything for women.
It means something for her.
It means something for Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Those are the only people that it means anything for.
Yep.
I hate the groupthink stuff.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.